Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so first question is, no, that was, did dinosaurs and humans coexist on Earth during the Vedic era? If yes, then why don't we find their mention in the scriptures? And if no, then when and how did humans appear on this planet according to Shastras? Okay, the first question, did dinosaurs and humans exist during the Vedic era? First of all, the information we get from scientists is they were big beings, huge entities called dinosaurs. And they even drew how they look like just by seeing the bones. That's something strange. Now, this is information from science. A lot of things scientists tell us changed over time. It changes. A lot of changes happen. So we are not sure, okay, whether to believe or not what they're saying. And having seen huge bones, they constructed what they thought how the, what do they call these? Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, and all these different beings, they constructed how they looked. How can you do that? Just by seeing bones, how can you construct the, So, okay, I don't know if they were dinosaurs. Okay, but we saw the bones. So now, did they coexist? I heard once, but then it's not in Shastra. I heard from someone that as Kali Yuga progresses, dinosaurs come. So these are from the last Kali Yuga. They're buried deep under. There are many beings which we cannot see now. There are 8.4 million species. Previously, for example, in Bhagavatam, there was an animal called Ruru. And it said that they are more envious than snakes. They're very fierce and envious in the sense like a snake will just attack you for no reason and create harm. So they were worse than that. But we don't see them now. Plus there was snake birds previously. Snake bird is what bit Parikshit Maharaj. Snake birds are snakes which fly. And we think that that is what Chinese call dragons because they're also flying and they are snakes. And the Takshaka, which bit Maharaj Parikshit, it said that it emanated fire. So the dragon emanates fire, but it may not be fire like we thought. Fire burns, but then you have acid also burns. So maybe they emanate acid, which burns, okay, has the same effect. So the point here is there are many living entities which we don't know about, which were there in the past. So let's say dinosaurs were also there, but what were they, how they looked, that we don't know. All right. Okay, so dinosaurs were there. And they were existing with humans. Yeah, humans are always existing. They're always there. So yes, they were coexisting. Why don't you find their names in scriptures? Well, as I said, Takshak, the snake bird, and there are many entities. There were Rakshas, Pishachas, Kimpurushas were here. We don't see them now. Kimpurusha were half man, half ape. That question is coming up ahead. We saw those type of entities. Then like Garuda, talking birds, huge birds. Then on other planets, you have elephants, which have 4 tusks, like Airavat, flying elephants. There are so many living entities, which we cannot see on this planet. Previously, they were here. So it's not that Shastra has to mention all species. There are 8.4 million species, so it won't mention every single one. So that's the answer. That did dinosaurs exist? Well, we don't know what dinosaurs are. Scientists are telling us, but let's say they did exist. So did they coexist with humans? Yes, they would have. Why aren't they mentioned in Shastra? A lot of animals are not mentioned because Shastra cannot mention 8.4 million different species. Okay. And if no, then when and how did humans appear on this planet according to Shastra? Well, not no. The answer is yes. So no need to look at that. When did humans appear? As soon as it was created. All the living entities came into being through Brahma. After the primary creation by Mahavishnu, then Brahma created the contents of the universe. That is called the secondary creation. That is covered in the 2nd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, that is answer to the question. Of course, your questionnaire is not here, the person, but anything else further to ask about this? Clarification?
So this lecture, this question answer session is being recorded, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, that will be all right. So
All right.
when will you post this?
I want to post it immediately. Now, the other one didn't be posted immediately because it got interrupted. So we have to merge the videos together. So Satyasha is doing that. No group. All right. So, all right. Okay, so that question, if there's nothing further, we'll move on. All right. Next question, also by Hans' friend. The so-called ape men who helped build the Ram Setu. Okay, this is in Ramayana, in the story of Ramayana. There were beings who were known as Vanara. They were half man, half ape, and they assisted Ram in the fight, and they built a bridge across the ocean with floating stones. Okay, who were they? Were they other people or races, types of people? If so, why were they described as ape-like when they were people? Or were they actually animals, misinterpreted as humans? All right. We take our information from the Vedas, which has vast information. Now, science, mostly people have rejected the Vedas, so they insist on researching everything on their own. The Vedas tell us that there are different planets and different kinds of living entities. For example, there are 400,000 type of Manushya, descendants of Manu, two-legged beings like us. Out of the, for example, there are Rakshasa, then Pishach, then there's Vanara, Kim Purusha, Gandharva, and us, Purush, Manushya, normal humans. Even humans are a little different on different planets. Every single planet has life. And there's even, of course, you don't know this, but Bhumandala plane, how to explain it? If you know Vedic cosmology, one day we'll have a session on that.
So I've seen a playlist by Das Prabhu. I've seen that. It's from Vedic cosmology. And also the Temple of Vedic Planetarium is from Temple.
Okay, all right. Then Jambudvip. On Jambudvip, there is Mount Meru and our planet. Then it's surrounded by an ocean. Then there's another concentric island. Then they're surrounded by water, then another island, and like that, there's 6. So on every island, they are living entities. And they are slightly different. They're all different. So it says here, who were these people who built the ape men? So they called, I don't know, I think they were Kim Purusha. Vanara, Hanuman is a Vanara. And the ones who helped build, they were Kim Purusha. Kim Purusha and Vanara are similar. They are both humanoid, human, but having kind of ape-like features. So they can speak, they have intelligence, they're not like monkeys, but they're not like men, they're in between, like Hanuman. So these beings are there. Okay, they were there in Satyayug. Why aren't they here now? Well, this planet is changing. Some beings are coming, which were not there before. Some beings were before, but they're not here now. And the simple reason is because everyone takes birth according to their karma. So everyone has different karma, and accordingly, the different living entities are present. So those living entities who are supposed to have a certain karma to take birth as Vanara or Kim Purusha, these ape-like men, are not having that karma now. Though they're no living entities of that karma. So that living type of body is not there. All right. So there are people like that. But they are still existing on other planets. As I said, they're on Jambudvip in one of the islands. Okay, then were they actual animals, misinterpreted as humans? No, Vedas were very clear that they were Vanara and Kim Purusha. Kim Purusha means, Kim in Sanskrit means what? Purusha means person. So Kim Purusha means, what is it? Is it a person? Something like that. Kim Purusha. Vanara. Nara means human. Nara. Va means surprise. Oh, are they human? So like that, Kim Purusha and Vanara, they are both two different type of kind of half man, half ape people who are intelligent. They exist on other planets. They were in Ramayana, we saw. Okay. And yeah, that is the answer for that. Okay, now we come to Yamikani's question. Oh, by the way, I hope that's answered. All right. And, yeah. Okay, next question by Yamikani. Next 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Questions, 5 questions by Yamikani. Okay, first question by Yamikani. And if you want, you can unmute and just clarify if you want, if I got the question right or wrong, or ask for further clarification. So first question is, why is Arjun's name not appearing on the Parampara list in the Bhagavad-gita, even though Bhagavad-gita was spoken to him? Okay, yeah, we discussed that before. So the reason is because the Bhagavad-gita that we are getting, it's from Sanjaya, and Vedavyas wrote it down. Okay, it's not coming from Arjun to us, because many people were there on the battlefield. So Vyasadev, he knew his 3 color gear, knower of past, present, future. So he saw the whole conversation and wrote it. Our Parampara comes through Vyasadev, if you see. So although, yes, it was spoken to Arjun, but it didn't, for us, it's just like 2 people are speaking and I'm third person listening from far away. So I go and say what that person was saying. And it's not that that person who was hearing came and told you, but me, my third person, who heard the conversation and came and saw. So similarly, Arjuna and Krishna were speaking, but then Vyasadev saw it and he wrote it. And then he's in our Parampara. It starts with Krishna, Brahma, Narad, Vyasa, and goes on. Okay, that is the simple answer for that. Okay, now I'll go on. If it's not clear, you can interrupt. Okay. Question 2. Why are all Acharyas and great personalities mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam and incarnations, holy Dhams, in India and not other parts of the planet? How can someone who is outside understand this point? Yes. Now, although actually some Acharyas did come from Western countries, that is clarified in Mahabharata. If you read Mahabharata, you will see Greece and other parts of the world, they were rishis, sages, and when Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken, they came from the whole world. And okay, but okay, so that is that point, that they were people in other parts of the world, okay, other rishis. But now if you talk about holy dhams and incarnations, why are they coming on this this tract of land, which we call India today, but Shastra calls Bharat? Himalaya Setubandha, between Himalaya and Setubandha, the southern part of Tamil Nadu. So the reason is because, you see, according to birth, according to our desire, we take birth in a certain place. So on this planet, there are many different places and different types of humans. Okay, for example, some have very good health, some have very good facility for enjoyment. Some have abundant resources. Some are born in the desert. So there are different types of places where one can take birth and different bodies. Okay, now before we continue on this point, one has to realize this one point, that we are speaking about souls. A soul may take a body anywhere, another planet, another country. So the souls which desire to be pious and to attain God consciousness and were engaged in that in a previous life, they take birth in India. It's known as Punya Bhumi. And so, therefore, here, all these different things, all the different incarnations and holy dhams come. Because in the past life, these people wanted this, so Krishna is fulfilling by, facilitating, all right? But having said that, there are also other places all over the world. We are saying that the holy dhams are there only on earth, in India. But now, if you look at ISKCON, that is a holy dham. Prabhupada said, wherever Radha Krishna deities are, that is a holy dham. So there one can attain perfection just by praying to Radha Krishna. Now, Radha Krishna all over the world. So we'll say that dhams are all over the world now. Why? because Mahaprabhu's mercy. So those are tirthas, those are holy dham. It's important to note that a tirtha is a place where one can easily attain spirituality. So ISKCON centers with Radha Krishna deities and where they chant Hare Krishna are holy dhams. And whoever goes there will advance, as we have seen. Okay, and they may well more advance more than people in India, because it depends on the, as Prabhupada writes in Nectar of Instruction in the preface, advancement in devotional service depends on the attitude of the devotee. What is his attitude? So someone out of India can advance very fast. Okay, that's completely possible. Okay, so that is the reason that Dhams, incarnations came on in India. It's because in past life they desired to be pure. Okay, and if someone out of India has that desire, then they'll take birth in India in the next life. But now there's no need for that. They can just go to ISKCON. Okay, or they may also come to India. Okay, so we have to see this on that spiritual level, that all the living entities are souls. And where are they taking birth? That is what we have to see. Okay, so at present, someone may be in Africa or Europe, but we can't call them African, European, or Chinese. That's the body. We have to see the soul. So now all souls have opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness. As Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita, he says that Te avaishas tatha shudra te piyanti paramgatim mam hi partave pashitya te pisyu papayonayah. Even those who are papayona means born outside India or outside Vedic culture, so they also can attain perfection. Okay, so that is all right. So I'm moving to the next point. In case if it's not clear, you can just tell me. This is some more clarification. Question 3. So someone asked you this question, that Jesus says in the Bible, no one can go to the Father, but only through him. Why should we choose another way? Yes, I remember I was in Africa, especially Malawi, and so many Christians were there. So they said this point, that it says in the Bible, no one can go to the Father but through me. So why shall I take up your process? Why shall I buy your books? Okay, and a simple answer for that, I'll tell you, is that when Jesus spoke this, I think it was to John, that was not for eternity. That was for that time and that place specifically. It's just like I'm sitting in a room and it's under construction. They're building everything. And someone asked me, how will I come out? And I'll show you can go out of that room. Okay. And then they build the room, everything is built. Okay. And now the actual door is built and window is built. And so if someone comes in the room and again tries to go out of the same way, no, now they built the room properly and there's a door, now you have to take the door. So in that way, that was a specific time and place. Those people were assembled there, and Jesus was telling them, so you want to attain perfection, you have to listen to what I'm saying. You only have to come through me. That was a fact, because at that time, Krishna deputed Jesus for that place and that time to spread the absolute truth. So they had to go through him. He came with the message. Where will they go? But to say this is for eternity, we cannot accept that, because Christianity just started 2000 years ago. So if you say, no, I'm eternal, I'm the only way, then what about before Jesus came? Then what will they do? And now he's not there. Okay, we can say he's there maybe. So, okay, my point is before it was not there. Whereas if we say Bhagavad-gita, it's eternal. It's always there. Krishna says, Yada yada dharmasya glani bhavati. Whenever dharma comes down, at that time I'll descend and I'll give that knowledge. Okay. So that is the answer to that question. If someone says that no one can go to the Father but through me, which is there in the Bible, but we are saying it's for that time and that place when Jesus was speaking to them, and it's not for eternity. Otherwise, he would have been there for eternity. He was not there for eternity. He was not there 2030 years ago, let's say. Okay. Next question. Regarding the planetary systems of human beings, 400,000 species. Are humans found only on planet Earth? If no, what is the difference with those living in other planets? Is there a specific unique feature of this planet which other planets do possess? No, human beings are found on all earthly planets. There are different planetary systems. So we are on a particular earthly system. I think it's called Bhurloka. Bhurloka. So now on this planetary system, there are many planets, earthly planets, where there are beings like humans. Although they may be small differences in physical appearance because it's according to karma. Okay, just like I'll give an example. A Chinese person has different eyes compared to, let's say, European. Okay, then an African person has different hair than a European person. And Swedish person's nose is different from a Eskimo, so many different humans on this planet. So there will be different physical traits and appearances. That's true. That's different, definitely. Okay. So are they found on other planets? Yes. Are there specific unique features? So, yes, there will be different, not unique, specific, just generally there'll be different features of humans here and there. Okay. And last question, question 5. A, what are the differences in qualification between one devotee who goes to the other Vaikuntha planet and one who goes to Golok Vrindavan? When we say Vaikuntha, in general, Vaikuntha means the spiritual world. And in Vaikuntha, there are many spiritual planets where all the different incarnations reside. For example, devotees of Narasimha, Ram, Jagannath, Vaman, Dev, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, all the different incarnations of Krishna, they exist on specific planets. So their devotees will go to their planets. The whole of Vaikuntha is a spiritual world, spiritual. Okay. What are the differences in qualification between one devotee who goes to one planet and one who goes to Golok Vrindavan? One who goes to Golok Vrindavan has worshipped Krishna. That is first point. And worship Krishna in the, worship Krishna. Then you have that Vrindavan mood of Krishna, worship, or Mathura mood, or Dwarka mood. So there are differences. That one who worships Krishna in a Madhurya Rasa, Madhurya means in a very close, intimate relation, goes to Goloka. But one who worships Vishnu and in a master-servant mood goes to Vaikuntha, or Vishnu's incarnation, different incarnations of Vishnu. So they go to Vaikuntha. All right. Residents, okay, part B of this question 5. Residents of other Vaikuntha planets are called Vishnu Dutas. What are residents of Goloka Vrindavan called? Vishnu Duta is not the name of the resident of the planet. Duta means messenger. When Vishnu's representatives come on this planet, they're called Vishnu Dutas because they are messengers of Vishnu. The residents of Vaikuntha, we can call them Vaishnavas because Vishnu, one related to Vishnu is a Vaishnav. So, yeah, so Vishnu Dutas. So residents of Goloka Vrindavan, what are they called? There's no specific name. Okay, you could say, there's no name like that. Gaudiyas go there, Karishnas go. Karishnas are worshippers of Krishna. Gaudiyas are worshippers of Radharani. They go. They all go to Goloka. They'll take form of a cow or a gopi or a river and serve Krishna. All right, so Vaikuntha residents, they're not called Vishnu Dutas. That's just Vishnu's messengers who come on this planet. But of course, they're from there. Okay, residents of Goloka Vrindavan, they don't have specific names. Question 5, part C. Can a devotee choose to be transferred from Goloka Vrindavan to other Vaikuntha planets or vice versa? Okay, look, when questions come like this, we say, let's go there first. Obvious answer. It's not easy to go. It can take many lives, one life, depends on us. Okay, but okay, you have a question, so let's answer it. Can someone from Goloka and Vaikuntha go and vice versa? Yes, answer is yes. It may not happen so frequently though. It's because we are attached to a particular form that we go to that particular place. So it's not that it will happen, but it is possible. All right. Now we came to the end of the questions. All right. Okay, very nice. All of you asking these questions. Keep reading, studying the books, and come up with questions. Brahma Jignasa, spiritual inquiry should be done. That way we get deeper into the philosophy, just like Arjuna kept asking Krishna questions. And therefore we got Bhagavad-gita. So keep asking questions and try to understand this philosophy from different angles, and you'll be benefited. Okay. So if there's any other question, then I can answer that. Otherwise, or clarification. Otherwise, we could stop here, I guess.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, here we come.
Yeah, it's just like a follow-up, like a background to the question I asked on human beings and planet Earth.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I have heard that this planet Earth, it's meant for sterility mainly. Human beings are like, if I can give an example, it's a place where you're supposed to like accumulate merits, and
Yes,
those
correct.
can be spent in the other planet, you know.
Yeah, karma.
Something like that. I don't know.
Place of action where you will either get elevated or degraded. Here's the place where you make your karma in one way, you can see. Yeah, karma bhumi, correct. Okay, you've gone on mute. So, I don't know, you had a question, huh? Specifically?
No.
Or you were just asking that point?
What I had in mind when I was asking that question is that,
Yeah.
because, yeah, like, I was asking about the specific feature of this particular planet Earth. So,
All right.
I heard something like that. So,
okay, yeah, yeah, that is true. That in this planet, Earth, and earthly planetary system, all of the other planets, that one, he makes his good and bad karma to either take birth in the heavenly planets or hellish planets. That is true. But also within this planet, there are places where one takes birth according to their desire. Okay, and therefore the bodies are different. If you're born in the North Pole, you can tolerate cold and live in the ice. So that's the type of body. And there are different species of animals. But generally, this is karma bhumi. That here we'll do our actions, fulfill our desire, and get the result by going to heavenly or hellish planets. In the previous yugas, mostly everyone was pure in Satya Yuga. So that would apply more. Now, Kali Yuga, okay, in Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. So now people are very sinful, people have taken birth. So their degradation, some places are more sinful than others. But in early yugas like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, then this would apply much more. That whoever takes birth, they are able to, that was whole planet was more or less, the same. It was the same everywhere. All Paramhamsas were born and they all got liberation in Satya Yuga. It was all one kind of place. As we went on the yugas, the vice came, then 25% vice, 50%, 75% vice at the beginning of Kali Yuga, and by the end, 100%. So then, but then there was a distinction. Some are more sinful, less, some are more religious. So that was accounted for by dividing the people in different countries. Yeah, so that is answer. Okay, so I think that's done.
Prabhu, one more thing.
Yeah, ask me. Go ahead.
So you mentioned that about the first question I asked about the dinosaurs one. So you mentioned that they may have existed in the last Kali Yuga, in the previous
dinosaurs. Yes.
Yeah. or something like that. So that would mean that the current carbon dating system may have predicted it wrong, the age of by checking the bones to carbon dating. So they may have predicted the wrong age.
Yes, I'll tell you one thing about scientists. They get a lot of things wrong. Scientists are known for this. Okay, they said that unicellular organisms are simple, a simple cell. Maybe they said one day we can make a unicellular organism in the lab. And now later they figure out this is unicellular, it's very complicated. Then they said that light travels in a straight line. Then they said, no, it travels in waves. Now, photons. So we can't put a lot of trust in scientists because they are conditioned souls. Conditioned souls have 4 defects. Brahma, Pramad, Karnapata, Vipralipsa, that is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. They have a propensity to cheat. They have a tendency to make mistakes. They are illusion thinking they're the body. And third is they have imperfect senses. Science is based on senses. Perception, what are you seeing, hearing, smelling? So based on 4 defects, we can't take knowledge from them. However, maybe you're just asking to find out, yes, and corroborating their information. So yes, scientists, maybe they got it wrong, or maybe it's correct. Maybe, you see, actually they are wrong because they say humans were not there 10,000 years ago, or 100,000. And dinosaurs, I don't know when they dated it. If they dated it some millions of years ago, then that makes sense also because now, if you go back to Satya Yuga was 2-point-something million years. Then Treta, and then it adds up to a couple of million years ago. And then after that, you come to before Satya means the previous Kali Yuga. So I don't know how they dated it. It's possible that it was from the previous Kali Yuga. A lot of scientists, therefore, we had a session, we have actually, I want to record it. It's called Pramana. Pramana is means evidence, or so Praman is when you have knowledge, what do you base it on? In the modern day, they base it on science. And that is one of the root causes of atheism in modern civilization, so-called civilization, and modern education. So the Vedic system was to base all knowledge on the Vedas, and there's a lot of knowledge out there. So in that way, they were theistic in their outlook completely, and they had very access to highest knowledge of planets, of astrology, farming, war, politics. It's all there, but now they're refusing to open it. They think that it's some made-up thing. So in the past, they had that Pramanas were based on Shastra. Now it's based on science, which is imperfect. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anything else? Or shall we stop? Okay. All right. So yeah, we can stop then. And then in 2 days from now will be that Bhagavad-gita class. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhagavad-gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay.